Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So after I made my previous video about things that could ruin Tanki Classic, which actually did pretty well, that I thought to myself, why not make a video about the things we need to have in Tanki Classic? Because honestly, there are a few things that I'd personally love to see return in the old version of Tanki Online. Nostalgic stuff like the old railgun shot color, or that old tutorial some of you might still remember. And on the other hand, there are definitely things I wouldn't want to see in Classic. For example, critical damage, which is one of the endless sources of chaos in the current Tanki. Maybe except for Smokey, which is honestly the weakest turret in the game if you ignore augments. I think it would actually make sense to add critical damage only to Smokey, just like it was in old Tanki. So today, we're talking about 5 things we need in Tanki Classic. So the first thing that came to my mind when I thought, what do I want to see in Tanki Classic, was the old maps. Just imagine that feeling, walking through the old maps that were removed from Tanki Online a long time ago. This is something that absolutely has to come back, both the old maps and the slightly different designs of the current maps, like Silence, for example. It would bring back so much nostalgia, and I'm sure everyone would be happy to see the old maps return in Tanki Classic. Number 2, parkour. Of course, I believe there will be parkour in Tanki Classic. After all, it's an inseparable part of Tanki Online. But I don't know, I got a bit worried when I heard this sentence in one of the vlogs.
There will no longer be such a thing as pro battles or battles without supplies.
But that's only one part. There's something else I'd like to see in Tanki Classic, assuming there will be parkour, of course. I'm talking, of course, about the lightweight construction augment, which would be really helpful for parkour because this augment wasn't mentioned at all in the vlog where they talked about augments. And as far as I know, pretty much everyone else really don't want any augments in Classic. This is the only augment I can think of that I would actually want to see in Classic. And this one, and also extra speed boost, which would be very useful in parkour. But I think that feature should exist only in parkour mode. Another thing that I think is a shame not to include in Classic and is very much related to parkour is Magnum Turret. I'm still amazed that the upcoming vote is between Striker and Gauss instead of Striker and Magnum. If you watched my previous video, you already know what I think about Gauss. So first of all, why on earth does Gauss have the option to enter the game instead of Magnum? Personally, I'd be really happy to see Magnum in Classic. Wait, before you jump on me, let me make myself clear. I also don't really like Magnum campers, and I don't think it's a good idea to include them in matchmaking battles. But in parkour, that's a whole different story. Can you imagine how we'd manage in parkour without Magnum? Magnum is the turret when it comes to parkour. And after all, it's been in the game for more than 8 years, and I definitely think it deserves to be in Classic, at least for parkour. Number 3, events. Here too, I pretty much believe there will be events in Tanki Classic, like Christmas event or Halloween. But again, I'm a bit worried. I remember in one of the vlogs, Hazel said that Tanki Classic would be a project that stays without changes, and somehow that made me think of the yearly events, which are very diverse and different throughout the year. So, Tanki, please give us events in Classic, special modes and discounts every now and then. It would be boring if Tanki Classic stays the same throughout the whole year. Give us special modes, for example, on Halloween, Christmas, or April Fools. Number 4. And here, some of you might actually disagree with me. This is, in my opinion, the most important part, the one that would bring back the true feeling of old Tanki. Because after all, Tanki Online is not the garage, not the shop, and not even the rare items you get from containers. It's the battlefield. And I believe that what would really bring back old Tanki are the old map textures, the old visuals. I'm sure these images spark emotions in anyone who played back then. This is how the game used to look, I think, before 2012, and this is how it should look in Classic, if Tanki Classic is truly meant to give us the old version of Tanki. Personally, I'd be really disappointed if the battlefield maps ended up looking like this, like in the current Tanki, and I really hope that doesn't happen. Number 5, secret places. Imagine the feeling of going back and exploring all the hidden, mysterious places that were tucked away in all sorts of spots. Falling for half a minute through space and ending up in a cool room, or wandering through an endless underground maze. If Tanki brings back the secret places that were removed years ago, I think it would give the game a significant boost. So that's it, guys. That's the video. If you agree with me or if you have things you'd like to see in Classic, write me a comment down below. I'm really curious to see what other people think. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.